Welcome back to Treasure Theory, guys. Is the One Piece market in danger of being manipulated and hijacked? That is the topic of today's video, and if you are somebody that wants to collect or invest or even, just purchase certain cards for your decks, you're going to want to watch this video because I really wanted to get into a little bit of a detailed rant, let's call it, over what I think is personally happening right now, what I'm picking up from what other people are saying in the community, and all sorts of stuff like that. I do think these are the sort of things that you're going to want to pay attention to if you're somebody that does want to invest in this card game. So we're going to get right into that, but before we do, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I have just been sponsored by cardtrader.com. If you want to get some cards from a trusted source, go on cardtrader.com, use my code down in the description, get 5% off your order, and get your cards securely. Alright guys, let's get into the video. So if you haven't heard the news, there's been a lot of talk about this Gengar Nami situation going on right now. And what exactly are we talking about here? Well guys, if you can look on the screen, we can see that this specific card, for some reason, has been dubbed the Gengar Nami card. Now, I just have to stop and pause for a second, because the detachment from what is going on here is incredible. So basically what's going on is that this card is being manipulated, right? It's being manipulated. When we look at the price, this card has gone up 640%, okay? Why? Why has this happened? Is this one of the rarest Nami cards in the entire One Piece TCG? Is there something about this card that... No. What's going on is we have got manipulation happening, more specifically from the Pokemon or Pokebro community. So what I think is really funny about this whole situation is that, people from the Pokemon community, people who have money or have just been in the game for a long time, who've been responsible for a lot of the price action and price movements happening in the Pokemon card game, thought that they could come over here to the One Piece TCG and just start figuring it all out and just start manipulating stuff and just acting like they know what they're doing. And what I find so hilarious about this is that calling this the Gengar Nami is the most detached thing I've ever heard in my life. If you want to get into the One Piece card game and you want to manipulate the prices, for fuck's sakes, man, read the fucking manga or watch the show at least, okay? At least be caught up, because if you're just gonna come over here and be like, oh, well, this card looks pretty interesting and he got it, and Nami look, she's sexy and she's, it's like, bro, come on. Absolutely hilarious. Seriously, guys. And, we've got a couple of other examples, too. I've seen some people talk about this Nami, and people are saying that, oh, I was watching Kaizoku Ice, great guy, great channel, and he was actually referring to people saying that this is like, oh, there's a Minecraft cube in here, so this must be something's going on, and I just think it's absolutely hilarious that this is like the attitude of people from the Pokemon community coming over, Pokebros. I'm not gonna blast people in the Pokemon community, but the manipulators just coming over here and just thinking that they can, figure it all out as they go, right? If we want a fun little example of how this has been going on in Pokemon, a few months back, this card right here, Marshadow, got manipulated because people were like, wait a minute, there's a Pikachu in the front of the card. So this card is gonna explode because Pikachu. We love Pikachu. Pikachu's worth $1 million. Okay. And of course, this didn't last too long and the card did tumble back down. But, I just think it's absolutely hilarious that people are coming over here and doing this. Now, let's have an honest conversation about what this really means. Now I know it's hilarious to make fun at all this, but there is something really concerning that I think is taking place, and I wanted to kind of get more into detail about that now that we've kind of put the spotlight on this little situation. And what is that exactly? Well, it's the fact that we are seeing real-time manipulation happening in the One Piece TCG. The One Piece TCG, if you didn't know, it's not that old. I don't even think we're at 3 years yet. I think the One Piece TCG started at the end of December 2022. So this is a very new card game, and it has made such a massive leap in the last few years to where it is today. And, you know, and deservingly so. It's a great game. You know, I've gone to a couple of tournaments. In more recent years, I've just gotten more into collecting because I'm just a One Piece nut. And as you can see there, you know, I've got a little bit of a Pokemon collection happening as well. You know, I love card games and all that sort of stuff. But guys, there is real concern here, and I wanted to really just kind of dive deeper into it. And it's more or less just the fact that, like, you know, cards are being manipulated by certain bad actors. And, you know, the truth is, guys, like, if you study economics, if you've ever gotten into investments or investing outside of card stuff, which, by the way, I hope you have, I really don't think investing your life savings into cards is a smart idea. I think you should have a small, tiny allocation of your total net worth invested in, say, maybe Pokemon or One Piece. And by small, I mean small. And this isn't financial advice, and I'm not going to give you a number. I really don't think this is like a fantastic investment that you should be really trusting. This is for fun and can, in fact, it could go up and be beneficial like we have seen with Pokemon, which has shown that it's possible. But, like, you know, the truth is, guys, in the world of investing and economics and stuff like that, manipulation is a part of the game. And what's really going on here is we've got super rich people, right? Who maybe they love the card game, maybe they don't. Maybe they love Pokemon, maybe they don't really know anything about One Piece. Vice versa. I would say it's probably that, though, because, you know, Pokemon's definitely bigger. But and based on what we've seen here, it seems like that is kind of the case. But listen up, you know, if you're rich and you want to manipulate this market, you gotta watch the show. Okay, you gotta read the manga. But no, seriously, guys, this is definitely happening in real time. We're seeing prices really reflect this, and let's go beyond the Nami stuff real quick. I mean, if we go on eBay right now, and actually, let me go on ebay.com. You know, there is definitely signs of market manipulation. Now, something I noticed when I opened up eBay here just now is that there is a significant amount of cards that have been removed from eBay. Now, I don't know if they've been bought or people just gave up on it, but I was seeing a ton of cards about like 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that were like, there was just way more cards that were like in the 5-figure numbers, okay? And looking through this now, we've only got a couple, which is, well, actually, yeah, looking through this now, there's only 2 listed. But no, I swear, like about a month ago, there was like so many cards for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 on eBay. But a great example, in my personal opinion, of some market manipulation happening on ebay.ca, which is the Canadian eBay, is we've got this Zoro here. He's the Treasure Cup Top 8. Great card, right? Honestly, top 8s, they're gonna be expensive, all right? It's coming from somebody who loves Treasure Cup cards. I don't own a top 8 yet. I have a top 6. I have a top 64. I have a top 16. Don't have a top 8. Fair enough, right? But when we go on TCG Player, okay, and we look at the 3-month snapshot, we have had 2 of these cards sell for about $625, $500. Now, I know these are probably the raws and not a PSA 10, but why the hell is this almost $20,000? Seriously. The listed median price, $3,000. Okay, fair. PSA 10, you know what? Let's just hypothetically say this card will be worth $7,000, $8,000. Why is it listed as $20,000? Guys, the simple reason is because you can list whatever price you want. And that's how this manipulation stuff begins. You have people who have lots of money, who are friends with each other, who wants to manipulate the market, which, by the way, the TCG market is not regulated. So this is illegal in other markets, like the S&P and all that sort of stuff. But the TCG market is not regulated. So we're seeing bad actors try and come in and influence prices, like we see here, and manipulate prices in the One Piece TCG. Now, I know the Pokemon TCG right now is going through a bit of a bear market or something. Prices have definitely reflected that. I mean, I've personally just gone into the stores and seen that the prices for ETBs are not what they used to be, which is interesting for me because, like, you know, I live on an island, so I'm only really exposed to the products I find when I go out there. I can't go to a lot of card shows. I can't go to like these awesome international card shows or big events, which sucks for me, but, you know, I have noticed a lot of prices change, and as somebody who's invested into this stuff, you know, you just pick up this stuff as you go. But guys, you know, just to kind of get to the point of all this, is that there is real manipulation happening in the One Piece TCG right now, and you need to be aware of it. People are coming in with big money, buying up the top cards, the grails, getting their PSA 10s, and they are exploding the prices. And it's a very simple way, by the way, to do it. Get a rich friend to say, hey man, why don't you sell your card for $25,000? And then maybe I'm gonna buy it off you, but then you send me the money back, or whatever, and then it's gonna say in the market that, oh, you bought this card for $20,000 or $25,000. And then people are gonna be like, oh my God, it must be worth $25,000. You know, and this is like a rinse and repeat. And like this kind of money, guys, is like a joke to some of these dudes. I mean, these are whales, okay? So what I'm really just trying to say here is like, be vigilant, be careful, you know, don't get caught buying a card that is not worth the price you think it is. You know, we have to do our due diligence. You know, I mean, looking at the looking at the top One Piece cards, okay, it's a very straightforward kind of conversation. The mangas are definitely the top grails, next to a couple other exceptions. But guys, thankfully, you know, TCG Player and a couple other places do reflect these prices pretty well. I mean, look at this right here. We've got the OP5 Gear 5 Luffy, market price $3,000, but most recent sale $8,000. We're definitely seeing the top cards really get played around here with the price. I'm seeing this Sanji selling for $5,000, or at least that's what people are asking, okay? Which is too much money, man. Too much money. But to others, it's not, right? So guys, you know, again, be smart while you're in this market. Study economics. Study how markets outside of TCGs work. Like, straight up, you know, you might think this is just a silly little card game and you're just riding off a hype, which is a valid point, by the way. But like the truth is, guys, you know, when it comes to money, when it comes to value, things move around. I mean, the TCGs are all unique in their own right, and we clearly have different methods of investing and collecting in the One Piece TCG. So guys, do your due diligence, be smart, study the market. Don't blow all your money into this card game. This could all go to zero one day. I mean, listen, let's be really honest. We really don't know what the future of any card game is, but that is why investing always comes with risk, and you have to do your own homework. But anyways, guys, I'll end it there. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was insightful in some way. And if it was, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. A video should pop up on the screen. Be sure to click it, and I will see you over there.